Welcome to Land to House. In this video, I'm going to be making this very simple do-it-yourself mug holder. So if you'd like to see how it's made, continue watching.
For step one, I have the miter saw at a 45-degree angle, and I'm going to use my first board, and I'm going to cut the end here at a 45. Now that I have that end cut, I want to measure out 3 feet here on the top of this board. And then here's the thing. I need to flip this around because I want to have the angle facing the exact same direction. The purpose of making the 45s is so the outside frame can be attached like this with a 45 degree, and so no inboard is showing on this build. Time to get these pieces assembled here. I don't have a finishing nail gun, so we're going to do something a little bit different here. First, I'm going to put some wood glue on this joint here and just spread that around just a touch. I think I'll do the same here on the other side, just to make sure it's got a bit of wood glue on there. Okay, now I'm going to put these together. Sadly, I also do not have any corner clamps, so what I'm going to be doing is using this piece right here. It's just some plywood that's been cut at a 90 degree, and I'm going to be able to use some clamps on the inside of this just to get it to stay stationary while I put a couple of nails in here. Okay, nothing too special there. Now on the longer side, which is this one, I'm going to be using a 3/32 drill bit. Of course, you don't have to have anything that small. I'm just pre-drilling so that I can use a hammer to put some of these nails in. It would be more ideal to have a finishing nail gun. I don't though, so this is just going to have to do. There we go. A nice flush corner, and I have some nails in there, and that wood glue will set up. So I'm going to keep this like this for at least an hour to let it set up. Now that the frame is assembled, it's time to get the vertical pieces that will go in here every 6 inches. To do that, I'm going to take an 8-foot board and mark at 34.5 inches and get that cut down. Measuring out 34.5 inches. Let's do a test fit here. Very nice. Okay, I'm going to continue to cut these until I have all of them done. Now that I have the boards cut, I'm going to just make sure they're at 6 inch here, and I want to just draw a quick reference line so I don't mess up later. I'm going to do that on each of these, just making sure I move it at 6 inches and then make my line there. Time to get these vertical pieces installed. Sadly, I don't have a finishing nailer, so I'm going to be using just a hammer and nails. First thing I want to do is put a little bit of wood glue on the end of the board here. Make sure that's on there nice here. We're going to go ahead and do that on both sides. That way it'll have both a nail and a wood glue finish there. Stick that into place. Now I'm just going to set my square here to make sure this is straight up and down. I also just purchased some corner clamps that I can use here to keep this in place. Would have been nice to have those during the actual corner build, but it's okay. Now that it's held in place, I'm going to put a pilot hole in.
And then just sink a couple of these finishing nails in here. Now it's time to cut these 6-inch pieces that will act as the shelf that will support the coffee mugs. I need consistency, and so I've set up a stop block here where there is exactly 6 inches between this block and where the blade cuts. This will allow me to just simply slide my piece here, and then wherever I cut, it will be 6 inches. Now that I have the vertical pieces in, it's time to get the horizontal blocks installed. To do that, I'm just going to be putting a little bit of wood glue on both sides and then setting that into the frame. Because it's just holding coffee mugs, I figure wood glue is going to be enough to hold this. There we go. So, just going to pull on this just enough to get this in here, to find that this is level in both directions. Seems pretty good. I'm going to continue down the line until I have all these in here, and then I'll put some clamps on it. The build is going well so far, but I'm realizing that some of these are a bit loose on the front side where the glue hasn't stuck. So I've decided to come back and put a finished nail here on the front. So just using my drill to make a steep angled hole on both sides here. I'm using my nails. So if I had a finished nail, this would be a whole lot easier, but I don't. So just putting these in like this. When I get close to the wood, I'm going to use my punch to drive it in the rest of the way. That way I can put a little sand on there, and once it's painted, may not even see these finished nails. Once this is done, I'll know for sure that these are nice and strong, and of course they can support a cup of coffee. The wood portion is now complete. I'm going to use a 60 grit sandpaper on my sander to knock down any high spots on the back. Flip it over, hit the high spots with the 60, and then move to 120 grit to just make sure everything is ready for painting. Now that everything has been sanded down, it's time for the paint. I've got this high gloss enamel here that I'm going to be using. That way, whenever coffee does get spilled on here, it should be pretty easy to wipe up. And it's complete. This is what it looks like here. We were able to find 4 studs on the bottom and top to support this. Hopefully the 8 different L brackets will be enough to support all the weight that's going to be on here. So far so good. If you found this build helpful, hit that thumbs up button and be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Why didn't you redo that one?